Hey everybody, I'm out here at the edge of the village. I'm so glad that you guys showed up to another episode. I have to say, we have a pretty big problem. These villagers here have been living in these houses this entire time. We're on episode 5, and I have to say, they're not round. And I think that that's a pretty big problem. So I went and did some mining, and I'm going to show you a clip right here. While I was out mining for some extra blocks, I found a spawner. So we're going to get these guys' village more rounded out, and then probably towards the end of the episode we'll also get that dungeon all made up so that we can start getting some XP other than just villager trading. As you saw in the intro clip, I have been chopping down a bunch of trees and trading out with these Fletchers, my big homie right here, and oops, I got these two guys right here. Let me show you what they got. This man, very important, Unbreaking 3. And then this guy, the most expensive book I've ever had to purchase. But it's mending. Super worth it. So I've been grinding away, getting our villagers upgraded, and I think it's time to also upgrade their homes. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with all of that. Do a nice little cool time lapse. I'll probably try to get these 4, maybe even 5 houses done. And yeah, so let's just jump right into that. We did it. We built the houses. The villagers now have round houses. I took the idea that I was talking about in the second episode where I had been walking around my own town, my own little neighborhood, and noticed that most of the houses were pretty much the same, except for, like, some were made out of siding, some were made out of brick. So I took that concept and brought it to our little village. And so right over here, I got the first house. I really wanted to experiment, so the other 2 buildings I've made are out of wood, and so I wanted to experiment with using more stone blocks this time. So over here I made the granite one, which I thought came out pretty cool. And then over here, stone bricks. And then of course, always controversial, using diorite. But I think it came together pretty well. I like the brightness of the whole thing. And then this one, I think the roof may be a little weird. I don't know if I like the light versus dark aspect of it, but I don't know, it's pretty cool. I just wanted to experiment with some stuff. And it seems the villagers, I got caught up right there. Seems the villagers really like it. I mean, they're sleeping in their beds. I guess that's what really matters. But I'm pretty stoked on it. We got a really good start to the Roundhouse Village. Everybody's going to their rooms for the night. And I guess I should probably go and do the same. We're going to have to get serious for a second. A big part of today, and a big part of this episode, was I needed to make up and get more geared out so we can go back into the Nether. I am so embarrassed on just getting totally wrecked by the Piglin brutes. So I worked really hard, did a lot of tree chopping, did a lot of work with the villagers so that we could go ahead and get some gear. So I showed you the 2 librarians already. That was a pain in the butt. But a big deal is I have these emeralds. Check it out. I've sold so many sticks to get these, and this gentleman right here is going to allow us to get a full set of diamond armor. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this from our homie right here. Hopefully I have enough. I'm not really sure on the math on that. And then this guy also sells me some a pretty good axe and a pretty good sword. So we're going to work on getting that as well. So I guess let's just get it. I think that should be enough emeralds. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh! Let's go! Let's go! Ooh, look how good we look! Ooh. Ooh. Oh, yeah. We're gonna do so much better. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get one of these and one of these. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm feeling good. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's go! I worked really hard to get this, and I really wanted to be able to have it done. We're not going to go back to the Nether today. Totally not happening. But I am really excited about getting geared out. I want to work on one more project for us today so that I can always have pretty good access to experience. And so right down here in our mine, like I was telling you guys earlier, I was coming down to mine some blocks, as you can see this long hallway, and I broke into this little, like, I don't know, spaghetti cave thing. And right up here was where I found that zombie spawner. And the room's already pretty hollowed out for us, so it shouldn't be too much work to get it all ready. We are gonna have to go back into the Nether, but just to grab some soul sand so that I can get a bubble elevator going. Wow, that was hard to say. And yeah, let me show you the loot we get. Some good melon seeds, a little bit of iron, gunpowder, cat, classic, and then 13, another classic, and pretty much a whole lot of junk. But the experience is really what we're after. So I'm going to head back up to the surface, grab a couple of blocks of materials, and I'll meet you guys back down here, and we will get started on building this experience farm. So there was a lot more supplies that I needed than I thought. I already ran to the Nether and grabbed the soul sand, but I also needed some kelp, so I hopped in a boat, came over here, and as soon as I got to an ocean, just jumped in. Like, the border is like literally right here. It's kind of insane. And so I hopped in, grabbed some kelp, as you can see, so that we can make our water elevator. It's pretty important when you're making an experience farm from a dungeon to be able to take the mobs that spawn in the dungeon out of the render distance for a little bit, or out of like the mob count area, so that then you can get another wave of zombies or whatever you're trying to get to spawn in again. So we're going to make sure we do that. I believe you have to take them up at least 20 blocks. And then you can do this really cool thing where you drop them back down. And when they hit the ground, they're only one shot. So it makes it a bit easier to farm the experience in the first hand. And then there's not a cap on how much experience you can kind of get. I'll head back to the dungeon. I'll meet you guys down there. And we'll start hollowing out the area. And I'll explain a little bit more on kind of what's going on when we get over there. Okay, I wanted to check back in with you guys. This is what I've done so far. Nothing fancy, and honestly, you don't even really need to decorate this at all because most of the time you won't see this room. But I felt it was necessary, and I wanted to just give you a little bit of advice. So what you do to build this big room so that you know the dimensions of it, you go 3 blocks below the spawner, and then from every edge of the spawner, you go 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's where you build the wall, and you do this all the way around. My room was already tall enough, but I would suggest having about 3 blocks of clearance above it as well. And then you should place a slab on top where I have a torch right there, but we'll do that in a little while. The next thing is you have to decide which way you want the mobs to fall. I'm going to have them all funnel towards me this way, and then I'll have it come down, and then we'll do the bubble elevator on the other side of this. Maybe, actually, we might not do it right there, since there's a big hole. Well, I'll figure it out. Either way, you have the mobs come down. We might have them go, I don't know, I gotta figure out which direction they're gonna go. But essentially, you just place water on one side of the build, like so, and then it'll all lead over to leaving this one little spot right here, which then you dig a hole into, and this is where the mobs will spawn, fall down into this, and this is where you then kind of make a channel to get a direction for them to go. And I just trapped myself in here. So we take another bucket just as like a quick example. I think I am going to go this way because I have just little caves all over the place, and I think that that's just going to work out the best for me. So you just throw a guy right there, and then when they spawn, they'll fall into the water, kind of glide down, fall into this, and then get pushed this direction. And then over here, this isn't really working the way I thought it would, but I'll fix it here in a second. I'll probably place, instead of placing the water there, I'll place the water here. And then I can build my bubble elevator right on the other side of this, which we can do, boop, right there. And we'll send them up to fall back down. Okay, I did the extra work. I'm pretty sure what we're gonna do is put that right there, and they'll slide on down this way. You can barely see, but I got some kelp in this that I've already gone ahead and taken all the way to the top. And the reason why you do that is because, oh, let me get in here. Ugh. It creates a bubble elevator. And my particles don't show up, but you'll see little particles pop up in there. And I'll just take the ride. And it should, oh, what? Oh. Hahaha. So the reason why that didn't work is because you have to have the soul stand. That was the whole point of the soul stand. So after you make these all source blocks, source water blocks, there we go, now you can see the bubbles inside of it. And then when you step inside, it takes you up, which will then take them across, and then they'll slowly make their way this way. Sometimes they get stuck, but they'll push each other, and then they'll drop all the way down, boom, And as you see, it really hurts. And then they'll die. And that'll be our killing chamber. The reason why I got such a small hole right here is because if there's a baby zombie, they can jump through a half block. So you got to make sure that, you know, you're not going to get ran up on by a baby zombie. So, let's get this started. I got the slab we're going to need. And let's see. Come up here. We'll replace that with our slab. We'll break this one. Okay. Can I reach that? Yep. And boom. You see our zombies come in. Ouch. Jerks. They'll go. Maybe if they're not looking at me, they'd actually go. So let's seal this up. And hopefully, if all goes well, yeah, here they are. And then just whap. So there you go, little makeshift XP grinder. The best option, I don't have access to it right now, but there's one block where they kind of got to travel across down there. If you can put an ice block down, it kind of helps send them across a bit easier, so then you don't get as much congestion right there. But really, this is all we need. In the next episode, we're gonna start off by kind of beautifying up this room, because wow, this is crazy ugly. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to turn down hostile creatures. Let's turn that down. Holy cow. Yeah, a little bit better. You can also set it up to where it has like an automatic storage system, which is something I think we might consider doing. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it on this episode today. I'm super excited. We got a bunch of the village built out. The roundhouse village is coming together. We got totally geared out, so the next time we go into the nether, we'll actually be able to do something. And we'll go in and face that bastion that totally kicked our butt. And we have this awesome XP grinder. So now not only can we get XP from the villagers, but we can also come in here and get some XP from these little zombies. See? That's the little bugger I was talking about. So yeah, I really appreciate all the support. I'm super excited to be out here making videos. Like I've said before, it's not something I've ever really done before, and I'm really excited to be doing it. So again, thank you guys. It's been Birdicus, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.